You're going to hear that the road rage shooter, who admitted shooting a mother, her kids, and another man in Westminster yesterday, has mental health issues. You're going to hear that he told police that he had just switched his medication. If his murder case goes to trial, you're going to hear his attorneys explain why that means that the justice system should go light on him after killing a child and shooting 3 other people. I also want you to hear this, that Coloradans with mental health issues are not more dangerous than the rest of the population statistically. I also want you to hear that they are actually more likely to be victims rather than perpetrators of crimes. And I want you to hear that tens of thousands of our neighbors switch their medications that they responsibly use to treat their health and do not react in a homicidal rage outside a dentist office. With that said, consistent with the practices we've discussed here before, I want to show you a picture of Jeremy Webster of Colorado Springs. We show this to you in case any of you might recognize him from prior interactions that you should be sharing with investigators. Those investigators say that Webster confessed to the road rage shooting in the parking lot at 80th and Sheridan. When the family of Megan Bigelow is comfortable sharing her photo and photos of her 3 boys, we will do that. They have asked for privacy for now. Her 13-year-old son is dead. She and her 8-year-old are in critical condition. Her 12-year-old was there yesterday and ran to get help for his mom, right about when the shooter was turning his gun on another man, 40-year-old named John Gale. He identified the shooter to police and is expected to recover. The shooter was caught along I-25 after a Colorado Parks and Wildlife officer spotted his car.
I was headed southbound on I-25, headed basically towards the house in Castle Rock, when I got an alert on my phone, and I believe it was from 9 News. So I looked at it, and it said suspect vehicle, a black Toyota 4-door license plate NPQ091. So I looked up and to my right, and lo and behold, there it was, passing me on the right side.
Absolutely incredible. Police think that the Bigelow family was just trying to get to a dentist appointment yesterday when some kind of road rage incident happened. But what to do in that moment that could confront any of us when you're faced with another driver who is clearly angry and out of control, perhaps even following you? What to do? We asked the State Patrol.
Never get out of the car. Don't try to go over and talk to the individual or anything like that. You don't want anything to get to where it could get physical. If it gets to that situation, make sure you do call somebody, or like I said, go to a place that's populated where you can go and tell them, I've got somebody following me. Can you notify the police so they can come over here and handle this for us?
Colorado State Patrol gets 4,000 road rage calls a month. They say that on average, it appears to be increasing in volume. They speculate that it has to do with population growth, more cars on the road leading to more frustration, and more people losing control. 3 cheers for Colorado's firefighters this week. The first for the crews in Silverthorne who stopped the Buffalo Mountain Fire right on the edge of neighborhoods. The second cheer for the hundreds of firefighters still holding off the 416 fire outside Durango. Not a home has been lost there. And the third cheer for the less celebrated but no less impressive effort to contain a miles-wide grass fire out near Kersey Wednesday night. Our Steve Steger and photojournalist Chris Hansen also found that those firefighters had some backup on the ready.
There's a lot of space in this part of Colorado.
It's less than a half a mile. It's got to be a quarter mile.
So much so.
And they were up in this way.
You need a truck to get to the edge of Elisa Carmen's property, where her fence meets her neighbor's.
When it first started, we thought it was far enough away.
With all this land, it was hard to tell how close that fire was.
I don't panic easy, but I kind of panicked. I was a little nervous.
Until she met the firefighter in her driveway.
And then I thought he was going to turn around and leave, and he says, and we need to get through your corrals so we can stand between your house and the fire. And I just said, thank you, I love you. And he kind of giggled and said, sure.
When she sees that fire line,
yep,
she's thankful.
Fire scares me, and they just run right into it. Who does that? I mean, that's what you run from, right? Not to. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Is it okay to tell him I love him still?
It only took them a few hours to control the 3,000 acres of fires burning outside Kersey. Heroic work. But even they will tell you there were other heroes in this story.
I was surprised at how many of our neighbors knew what was going on so quickly.
Because here, distance is about the only thing that separates neighbors.
Roger called from 2 miles up the road. Auctioneers called from 2.5 miles away. We had 3 people at 7 miles away call.
We saw a cloud of smoke going up.
Doug Corliss saw the fire from about 2 miles away.
So I hooked the disc on and went up there and waited.
He was ready to use his tractor to dig a fire line around Alicia's home.
Nope.
He's never done that before.
First time.
If you ask Doug, he'll tell you he wasn't much help.
I didn't do anything though. I was just ready.
Alicia will tell you he did everything.
That actually gives you a lot of peace to know that they're on their way, they'll be there.
Someday I'll need help and my neighbors won't bat an eye and come help me, I'm sure of it.
This is not too bad, we can handle this.
Neighbors.
Them I feel for.
That's just what they do out here.
I feel for them because it's loss of grass, it's loss of land, it's loss of production.
With so much space out here, it's remarkable how close a neighbor can be.
Yeah, that's right.
For Next, I'm Steve Stager.
There were about 80 firefighters working out there on Wednesday night, 14 different departments involved, and they had their hands full. 3 lightning-sparked fires that burned 3,700 acres. So we've ripped off NBC's The More You Know. We just call it, You Should Probably Know This. And know this, that when firefighters are looking to protect structures, homes and buildings, they also have an eye to history. Thanks to History Colorado, which sends maps to firefighters identifying the location of historic and archaeological sites that are worth saving. Obviously, safety of people comes first and then occupied homes, but firefighters get personalized knowledge, these special maps showing them where history lies just near their fire lines. The maps you're seeing are actual ones that were provided in 2 real fires, the 2017 Sunshine Canyon fire near Boulder and the State Line fire in southeastern Colorado in March of this year. 2 of the Democratic candidates for governor are campaigning on promises to make Colorado a state that runs on 100% renewable energy. That's the version that fits on a bumper sticker, at least. Politics guy Brandon Ritteman found there's a lot of fine print.
Democratic frontrunner Jared Polis is making this 100% renewables promise in his campaign. So is his fellow Democrat Mike Johnston. In a recent gathering we put together with voters, both got questions about this because to some of the voters, the idea sounded a little grandiose.
100%, does that mean state aircraft or solar power, the snowplows or electric? No. What do you mean by 100% renewable energy?
And there's, the frustration when you run is you get like 30 seconds to say what you want. It means that our grid, our energy grid, the power for your home, not airplanes, not cars, the power for your home will be 100% renewable by 2040.
100% by 2040 is the same target both Polis and Johnston are promoting. So let's start with the most basic issue here. The next governor won't be governor anymore in 2040. If the next governor serves all 8 years they're allowed under term limits, they will be out of office in 2027, a full 13 years before the target date. So if this sounds a little pie in the sky to you, you've got good reason to feel that way. Then there's the idea of going 100% renewable.
100 by 40 is an interesting idea.
First thing you do is you got to stop putting more carbon into the air.
On one hand, power companies like Xcel, which provides the power for the Denver area, will tell you we have reached a tipping point. Xcel told us recently that wind power is already cheaper than fossil fuels in Colorado, even without subsidies, and solar power is almost there. But they'll also tell you they do still need fossil fuels. Xcel is building new natural gas plants to fill in the gaps when the wind's not blowing and the sun isn't shining. To get to truly 100% renewable energy is either going to take a lot of energy storage or some new technology, which may be one reason why candidates who like this goal aren't promising to get it done while they're still in office. For Next, I'm Brandon Ritteman.
In Brandon's article on 9news.com, you can learn more about where your power already comes from and what changes are planned for energy in Colorado. The question I have received most from you since my daughter was born in February is how fatherhood has changed my life. I got to thinking about that with Father's Day coming up on Sunday, and it's changed life in all the predictable ways, reorienting priorities, putting setbacks in perspective, encouraging me to think long term. But I was totally unprepared for fatherhood to make me into an optimist. about the world and the future. Because a pessimist or a cynic with children isn't just choosing to look darkly upon today, but to consign those kids to some sad, hopeless tomorrow. Not to say I can't look at the stark realities in our community and our country as they are, but my first Father's Day resolution is to optimistically try to improve things, little by little, because it is no longer my world, it's hers.
Extreme fire danger across our state. We don't have to tell you that. The red flag warnings continue, but change is coming in just in time for Father's Day weekend after another day with hot highs 10 degrees above average for many areas. The leading edge, the remnants of post-tropical storm Bud, already bringing high cloud cover to the Front Range and Eastern Plains. The threat for heavy rain on Saturday sounds like a good thing, but over some of those burn areas could create some issues, hence the flash flood watch out for southwestern Colorado. Tracking a couple of isolated severe cells that have had a history of producing 1-inch diameter hail out across eastern Adams County, Arapahoe County, and up near Cheyenne earlier today. So kind of an active radar map. These high-base gusty storms track east, and then we set our sights on the southwest. All of that moisture coming in means the rain begins west of the Continental Divide tomorrow in the fire zones. Great news for fire managers, and then shifts east over the Front Range and Eastern Plains for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And cooler highs coming in as well. Highs in the 70s, something we haven't seen in quite some time. And so tonight, we'll call it hazy, warm, isolated gusty storms move out. Tomorrow we start in the 60s, end in the mid-80s. 70s forecast for Father's Day and early next week with a good chance of rain on more than one day. So that is a wonderful Father's Day gift for the firefighters battling those blazes out there tonight.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Kathy. Drink in enough World Cup coverage and you're left with the bitter taste of failure of the U.S. team to qualify. Here's the deal. If we're going to get our program out of the ditch by 2026 when the World Cup is coming to America, possibly even Denver, we're going to need some young talent. Our Nelson Garcia found some.
When learning soccer at a young age, coaches like Brian Marshall
You got to communicate, girls.
want them to learn the foundation right away.
But just the fact that they're out here and developing, getting an understanding of the game at a younger age.
But with the World Cup starting this week,
Yes, now go at them.
coaches at the Elite Player Development Camp want these kids to learn passion for the sport, even if the U.S. men's team isn't playing in it.
So it's more important than ever, because we are down, to push even harder.
10-year-old Ella Bailey found a team to root for.
I'm rooting for Argentina in this World Cup.
And tell me again, why Argentina?
Because my grandpa's from Argentina.
That's part of one.
Mike Freitag is the director of coaching for the Colorado Soccer Association. He says the fact that Colorado has a chance to host World Cup games in 2026 is another reason to get kids excited.
For the next 8 years, we got something to look forward to. We got something to strive for.
So naturally, they got a moose.
Yeah, I was just playing and then all of a sudden I saw the moose.
A moose purchased by CSA to appeal to a younger audience.
We're really pushing to get more kids to play soccer.
I mean, they got a smile on their face. Couldn't be better.
Everybody just looked at the moose and started to laugh.
Start them young. Invest passion into the future.
I think if, you talk it up and as they grow and it starts happening.
For Next, I'm Nelson Garcia.
In the coming years, FIFA will announce which cities in the U.S., Canada, and Mexico will be host cities for the 2026 World Cup. Denver appears to be really well positioned because Mile High is a great venue for soccer. The strangest costume at Denver Comic-Con today was a decades-old purple dinosaur with a 9 on its chest and Steve Steger's voice coming from the inside. Conspiracy theorists have long been fixated on one particular mural at DIA because, well, it's astonishingly creepy. And add to that fact that these same conspiracy-minded folks sometimes think there are Illuminati bunkers beneath the airport. So when the creepy mural recently vanished, there were bound to be some questions. Instead, DIA says, don't worry, they're just moving all the public art in the terminal to a storage facility before their Great Hall renovation. So there's that really nice map that shows the vintage pictures. It's called America, Why I Love Her. This isn't the creepy one. But they also moved Children of the World Dream of Peace. That is the creepy as all get out mural where the guy is wearing the gas mask and the children are terrified. The one that people think signifies the apocalypse. More paintings will be moved over the course of the summer. The art will be back by 2021, so you can continue to analyze it for hidden messages. Each Friday, the news of your life becomes our headlines here. Today, a blast from 9 News Past showed up at Denver Comic-Con at the Convention Center to ask our familiar question.
What's your good news right now?
I helped somebody get engaged.
I got into college.
I made it into the space program at CU Boulder. My good news is this little girl turned 2.
You're a cute elf? Yeah. That's pretty good news right there.
She wanted to give you a hug.
Oh, your costume.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. I don't know what it is, though.
You're Dino.
Nino the Dino? Oh, from like 9 News.
Yeah, from 9 News. Lord Vader, what is your good news?
My good news is my girlfriend here.
We're both here. We're both having fun. All right, good.
I am graduating in 6 weeks in a degree in opera.
It's a sign spotted by next viewer Sandra Lee Van Dam. Apparently she was in a spot that is for visitors only, and the consequences are quite clear that all other vehicles will be destroyed by tiny robots. Tiny robots like Transformers, Aiden. Sandra says she saw this at Spark Fun Electronics up in Niwot. If you see a sign that makes you laugh, send it our way. Email next@9news.com or get our attention with the hashtag HeyNext, or you can post it on our Facebook wall like Sandra did. So our feedback tonight actually arrived last month. It was an invitation to Aiden's 6th birthday party, and not just any birthday party. This was a Transformers pool party, a personal invitation for me to go to the splash pad. Aiden's mom says, "You invited me because I'm nice?" That's really sweet of you. So I'm super sorry that I missed your party, and I'm glad that you were able to come in to hang out with us. It was nice. A good party. You said it was fantastic. The water was flying all over the place. Did you get cool Transformer stuff?
Oh yeah, I got Shockwave, and I got a bot that I can't remember, but it was a fire truck, just like Heatwave.
That's fantastic. I'm pretty sure that I actually didn't get you the same one then. Happy birthday, buddy. Thank you for coming in to see us. You're awesome. Thank you for watching the TV and inviting me to your party. I'm sorry we weren't able to come out and see that. On behalf of Aiden, you know me, we'll see you next time. Give the people a wave.